crap. Get him out of here.
How does that not indicate to you, like, hey, sometimes, like, these prospects are awesome?
Donald, get back. They snatched that chain, boy. Get back. What y'all gonna do about it? Popeye snatched that chain. Get back. We want that snack wrap. They got 3 flavors. Y'all got 1. Get back.
Hey, everybody. Welcome on into the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Rob Watson, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone. No, we are not at our usual studios in Burke Lakefront Airport, but instead we're someplace maybe even better, some would say, Nick. Here at Fairway Ford in Canfield, Ohio, a beautiful dealership. So welcoming people, so happy that we're able to come down here, do a show. We've talked about Fairway Ford on our show every single day. You already know what they're all about, but the fact we're actually here, it's beautiful, guys. The amount of cars on their lot. I'll pull up this truck right here behind us, guys. This thing is an absolute beauty. Part of the Fairway Ford Black Label, guys. This is a truck you want to get.
Took us out to God's country this morning, Ryan, around in Canfield. The drive wasn't that bad, a little over an hour from our studio downtown Cleveland, and it's cool to see all of these trucks, but specifically like the Black Label stuff. Like we've got a custom blacked out Outer Banks Black Label Bronco right in front of us too. Like, place is sweet.
Bro, the motorcycles that they had in front of us.
Yeah. Place is sweet
as well. This place is sweet. I'm so happy to be here. I've told you all about.
I think we're hopping into a Bronco later, by the way.
Yeah, we will, and I'm gonna tell you all about Fairway Ford in a little bit as well. But guys, we start here on the Big Factor. Before, how are we doing today? It's Friday.
Friday, yeah. We're hanging out here in Canfield, man. Gonna go get some pizza probably after the show. Like Youngstown, this area, it's what it's known for. Like I said, gonna probably do some content in a Bronco. Like. Vibes are up. Vibes are up.
What are we doing? What are we looking forward to this weekend? I know Saturday we'll be at a barbecue in Strongsville.
Smart Choice Windows, barbecue Saturday. Bayerga's rolling through at noon. Drennan's rolling through at noon. So
best barbecue food.
Should be a lot of fun. Dude, I'm a traditionalist when it comes to barbecue. Like, give me a good burger, good dog.
Pulled pork.
Wings.
Gotta be pulled pork. Gotta be pulled pork.
Bratwurst.
I love a good brat. I'm a brat over hot dog.
No one likes wings and ribs.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
like
I love ribs.
I'm not
ribs are good, man.
Everywhere I go.
Good
like
ribs.
The thing with the burger and the dog is you could be
ribs.
clean with it, like especially because we're gonna be out like in Strongsville. Like, I'm not trying to have sticky hands my whole way back home, but yeah, come through. We'll be there Saturday, and then
we got that auto drive.
International Fight Week. Saturday night UFC got Jake Paul fighting Saturday night as well. So. Going to be a fun weekend. We're just trying to put off the inevitable guards talk here is really what we're doing.
This Fairway Ford, beautiful location, and the Guardians can't even put up a damn run, so I can't even enjoy it, you can't even enjoy it.
Is he about to get into it? Because I want to issue my statement before he gets into it. All right, so the Dolans, listen.
Please, Rob.
I'm a casual viewer. I really want to get into baseball. All right, I'm trying my hardest. I'm giving it my effort. Me and my girlfriend, we invested in the ballpark pass this month. All right,
last year would have been the year to get into it.
Yeah, I should have. Obviously, it was a mistake. I've been to a few games. All right, I've been to like 3 or 4. And I want to. You guys wonder how many runs I've seen? I don't even know how many hits I've seen. I've seen about 2 runs in about 4 or 5 games, guys. All right?
Yeah.
I deserve a refund. I'm going to a game. I want to see some offense. That's like me going down to Rocket Morgan's and I see the Cavs make 2 shots the whole game, bro.
Or the Browns score 1 field goal.
Yeah, bro.
That's actually.
Yeah. I deserve a refund until you guys can hit a home run. I haven't seen 1 home run. I want to see something.
All right, well, let's get to it, guys. The unfortunate part, the Cleveland Guardians, they lose their series to Toronto. Guys, they were outscored in this one, in the series, I should say, 20-11 in those 3 games. The most recent one, which we saw unfold yesterday, Kevin Gausman goes 8 innings pitched, just 2 hits, 6 Ks. Bybee, actually not a bad outing outside of the 3rd inning, which was a bad inning for everybody included. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 7 Ks. We've now seen Tariq Skubal have his best game of the year against the Guardians. That's okay. That's expected. Abbott for the Reds. For the Dodgers, why am I blanking?
Jack Flaherty buzzed against us, I know.
But Japanese one. Why am I blanking?
Yamamoto.
Thank you. And now just recently Kevin Gausman, who, by the way, was struggling going into this game a little bit, 8 scoreless innings.
Yeah. Could we put it here today on June 27th at Fairway Ford in Canfield, Ohio? You ain't winning the World Series this year. Not with this lineup. I mean, this lineup is a joke. It's almost insulting to the fans. And I know Jack had his rant yesterday about Chase DeLauder, and we'll get to him into the show, I'm sure. But like, it's so upsetting especially coming off the heels of how fun last year was, where you were legitimately 3 wins away from a World Series. Like, you've got a superstar that turns 33 years old in 2.5 months, and it's all for naught. You're 1 game over 500. The starting rotation is starting to look better, so it's difficult to get that mad about the baseball team. But when you've got a little league lineup, which is really what they're rolling out every night, you know that you don't have a puncher's chance regardless of who's on the mound. So I'm trying to get excited about Shane Bieber coming back. I'm trying to get excited about David Fry, who's getting healthy. I'm trying to get excited about the potential of Chase DeLauder. But even that, like, I'm going to ask a 23-year-old kid making his major league debut to turn around this whole lineup. Like, that just feels very unlikely. I don't know. It's tough for me to see a path here in June for this team to figure things out. And I think what's frustrating, too, you hear Stephen Vogt, the Carlos Baerga show, shout out, we'll throw the Vogt press conference clips in there. And after these losses, Stephen Vogt is saying, oh, we didn't look like ourselves today. Maybe that's just who you guys are. You're an inconsistent ball club that can't manufacture any runs or any offense. That is who you are. Your record is what you are, not who you think you are.
I got a couple questions from yesterday. My first one is it normal for when there's an error at first and someone's stealing home for the catcher to just be staring at the dirt while the dude's trying to throw the guy out? Is that normal? Like, I want to.
It's just kind of a.
You have more errors in that game than hits, and I know that's the headline coming out of it. And Kyle Manzardo then doesn't face the music post game in the locker room, doesn't speak with the media. Like, dude.
Oh, he ducked?
Yeah, like you had
that's
three.
An interesting
you
one,
had
guys.
3
That's a real
errors in
interesting
1
one.
inning. Like you, at first base, stand there, catch the ball, and tag the bag.
The first one completely misfielded the bunt from Miles Straw. The second one, you don't catch the pickoff attempt by Bybee. That got Kyle Manzardo flustered. And then, yes, he chucks it at home. Bo wasn't paying attention. That's 3 errors in 1 inning for Kyle Manzardo, guys. Little fun fact about that. It's odd, actually.
He
not
plays in the
that-
field once a month. What do you want him to do?
not-
I mean, I think it's a little
First
bit on the
of all,
manager for not putting him out at first base ever.
I'm not buying that. We'll get to that. Partly.
How could you
But-
not
but
buy
real
it? He
quick-
doesn't go out there ever.
real quick.
They were afraid to play him at first
Real
base
quick.
all of last season. You didn't even put him in the field last
Well, I
year.
see
No,
why. I see
no,
why.
no,
He's a
it's-
complete can.
No, there's an issue.
Real quick, about the
issue.
3 errors in the inning, it's actually not that uncommon. Manny Machado did it earlier this year, May 21st, but the last Cleveland Guardian to commit 3 errors in an inning, if you were able to name this guy, Jack, I would have
Can I get a year?
I'd have to buy you a Fairway Black.
Can I get a year? Can I try and guess?
2010.
2010. Can I get infield or outfield?
Infield.
Infield? I mean, as Drubel's a good fielder, so you're not looking there.
You got one guess, baby. Let's go.
2010.
Let's go.
Okay, Orlando Cabrera.
Andy Marte.
Oh, R.I.P. R.I.P.
But the point is, Jack, I get
R.I.P.
that.
We're not
I
going to who an
understand.
R.I.P.
But would we be? I guess this might be agenda pushing. I'm not saying you're agenda pushing, but a lot of people you stick up for Manzardo because you want him in the lineup. But at the end of the day, it's like you're a first baseman, major league. The bunt, okay, that's one thing. I get it. Everybody misfields a play, but then the failed pick attempt by Kyle Manzardo, and then you're just chucking it at home, regardless if Bo was paying attention or not. Miles Straw was scoring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's when the coaches tell you, just take your loss, hold on to that ball. We don't need any more chaos.
Well, that's part. I mean, that is, but that also
Chaos
is
is
in
a
a
good
way.
word for it.
I mean, that was a little league inning.
It
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
but that's in a way why I do think you do have to put him out there more often, because that's how you get through these avoidable situations. And like it's tough. I mean, in general, even just look at him kind of slumping over the last month and a half, right? As a hitter, like when you're not in the field, there's only one way you can help your team, and that's by being in the lineup. So when you go through a stretch over maybe a month and a half of 100+ ABs, you're not doing very well. You're not out in the field. You feel like you're not helping your team, period. You start to spiral mentally a bit. Like, I think that plays into your slump even more. And I get it. Like, yeah, is it a totally inexcusable error? Yeah, but, like, you got to put the kid out there to learn and get a chance and feel like he's helping the team in other ways when he's not hitting. And is that more of an issue of bringing in a first baseman for $12 million in the offseason while also having David Fry who can't play in the field? Yeah, but it's, I don't know, man. It's roster construction still.
I'm trying to find reason to be optimistic, and it's really dwindling. Again, you're still over 500. You're still in the wild card mix.
Sucks, dude.
I get all of that. And the thing about the lineup, yeah, it's bad, but like there's also no fire, no heart. Like that's what made last year so fun was Guards Ball was like, well, how are they going to do the improbable tonight? How are they going to be the comeback kids tonight when it looks like all of the cards are stacked against them? They'll find a way to win. Yesterday was a microcosm of a game where you had an opportunity to enlist a little bit of fire and a little bit of passion into to the baseball team when Jose Ramirez, your superstar, gets beamed by a ball there early in the game, out for the rest of the game? How is there no retaliation? How does the manager not come out and cause a scene? I know we, pound the table looking for Stefanski during Brown season. Show more emotion. And that's not really in Stephen Vogt's DNA, I don't think either. But, man, for one day when the bats look as anemic as they have, try to fake it even. Go out there and just try to fire up your guys because there's no fire in the belly of any of these dudes on this roster other than Jose Ramirez.
You're so right, and it's so incontrovertible, too, just off the fact that, in the modern baseball where you don't get to argue balls and strikes as much, you got the replay. You don't see the classic where Lou Piniella could go out once a week and get kicked out and fire up his team just because. But, when you do have the dog days of baseball and so many games in a row and you play 18 games in 20 days, you need to do little things to shake the team up a bit. I mean, and you can't call up and send a guy down every single day to have guys looking over their shoulder. So sometimes you do need to sit a guy who's usually in the lineup or move a guy down the order to send a message or something, or just go out and send a message. And I don't know, I don't want to say it's a locker room issue because I actually think they have incredible culture with this team. I think there's a lot of really, really good human beings, and maybe they're even too nice of human beings sometimes for their own good. But
I would have got kicked out.
How do you not though? You have to go out and send some form of a message because Jose is your pulse, he's your heartbeat, he has been for forever. When someone takes a knock at that guy, doesn't it scare you? In the same way that when DeAndre Hunter had his thing, doesn't it scare you a little bit that no one did whatever Sophie Cunningham did,
Right.
You gotta go. Hey, that's not gonna stand. We got a backbone here too. In
I
Cleveland.
do want to continue talking about this. Vlad Guerrero getting hit, Jose Ramirez getting hit, Bush League stuff. It's obvious, and Stephen Vogt obviously not getting ejected. Whether you want to see a manager get ejected or not, people like some fire under their manager's ass. But I got to tell you about Fairway Ford again, guys. We're here in Canfield, Ohio, at Fairway Ford, and their dealership is just absolutely beautiful. So many cars we can see just behind us. This Fairway Black Label truck is absolutely beautiful, guys. But Fairway Ford, the biggest Ford truck dealership in the entire state of Ohio. Easy drive for us from Cleveland, an hour 20, so smooth, down to Canfield, Ohio, guys. Largest selection of Ford F-150 Super Duty trucks, and they literally will not be beat on price by any other Ford dealer. You come here, it's good service, it's good people. They want to get a deal done, but they're not going to pressure you to do anything you don't want to. That's the beauty here. They understand everything that you're going to need, and your dream vehicle might be here on their lot, and if it's not, guess what? They'll get it for you. Canfield, Ohio, fairwayfordohio.com is where you want to go to visit their website. Even if you're just browsing, it's the place to go. You want to get a good variety of places that you browse, and Fairway Ford has to be at the top of your list if you're looking to make a good deal. All right, guys, we're going to take a break, but when we do get back, I want to continue this talk about Stephen Vogt, Jose Ramirez, Vlad Guerrero, all of that stuff when we get back on The Big Factor. There we go. Hey,
the microphone's on there.
Turn the TV on.
Turn the TV on. Sports Network. We're not at Burke Lake front of usual studios. I'm honestly thank God because
I'm not hot. Yeah,
it's all hot.
There's a controlled air in this building. It's crazy.
Imagine that.
We're in Canfield, Ohio, just outside of Youngstown, guys. This dealership is absolutely beautiful. 500 trucks on their lot, which we were talking about on the way here, is absolutely crazy. Nick, we were talking how it's not easy to get 500 vehicles on lot, but Canfield truly has it all.
No, it's not. You go to some of these dealerships around Northeast Ohio, and they're lucky to probably have 100 trucks on their lot. Seriously, and that's a mix between new and used. But yeah, you come it is seriously look that way, dude. It's just trucks. It's trucks as far as the eye can see.
If you guys have seen Field of Dreams, it's like in Field of Dreams when if you build it, they will come. You just see the headlights. I mean, there's a billion cars at this location.
Yeah. Shout out Fairway Ford for having us. Absolutely beautiful location. Get down here. All right, we're continuing our guards talk. People were upset Stephen Vogt didn't really get into the umpire. A lot of people were talking, Tito, he would have been ejected. No doubt about it, right? Vlad Guerrero gets hit on the forearm. He ends up exiting. Toronto obviously didn't like that. Vlad got hit the night before. They retaliate on a 0-0 count. They hit Jose Ramirez. It hits his forearm. He later leaves. I believe both Guerrero and Ramirez X-rays came back negative, which is good for both players. Obviously, the cornerstones of their franchise. I guess the question is it right to get upset that Vogt won? Didn't get too emotional, didn't get thrown out, trying to light a fire under his guys. Some people were talking about Austin Hedges. You're there to be the player manager. He was standing at the plate being very silent. Now, we don't know the ins and outs of that. Steven Vogt could have said, hey, stand there, shut up, let me do this.
Right.
We don't know that. It's hard to get on Austin Hedges for that. But a lot of people combine this with a lot of the hitting decisions, including pinch hitters, lefty-righties maybe sticking too heavy to that matchup, prospects, talk, all of that. People are down on Steven Vogt after getting us to the ALCS.
So the thing about Steven Vogt for me, though, is that he doesn't have a bat. He's not in the lineup, you know, so, like, it's not his fault. He's playing what he's forced to play, and that's a bunch of guys that, candidly, haven't been that good at baseball this year. So I can't get too mad at him about that. And same thing with the, you know, it's fun to see managers get kicked out, and that's what people wanted, especially when Jose, you know, gets hit. Like, you want to see that. It's just, it's more to me that last night felt like that would have been the opportunity to send a message because of all of the things that are going wrong, because of all the Chase DeLauder, you know, chatter and people upset about the lineup, because of the lack of hitting at the major league level, because the season to this point, and I think they would admit it, isn't going the way that they thought it would. Like, last night would have been the perfect time with all of those things coming together to have a little bit of a crash out there on the field. So the fact that it didn't happen really leads me to wonder, where's the passion, where's the fire, where's the emotion that we saw out of this team late last year when they were making that push, you know, to be the #1 team in the American League Central, to win this division going away. Like, we saw that fire throughout the entire season, but specifically at the end. And if you don't have it now, like, you got to turn this thing around. I'm not sure they're ever going to, though. I think this might be just about a 500 ball club the whole way.
Yeah, I think my only defense for Steven Vogt on this, where my head is at, or like my perspective change, I guess. What he does wear sick jackets. I think maybe he has a lens in the locker room where he's very positive, or he's a player's manager. Obviously, he just retired recently. My only thought, because I can't really remember him going that crazy ever last year. Like, I think maybe he got ejected once, twice. My only thinking is maybe he's just a very chill dude in terms of like, hey, we're gonna get this going, we're gonna figure it out. So if he would have, but maybe it's like if he did show that emotion, it would clock like oh shit, things are bad.
Right.
Like,
if
he's
this guy's going on,
so maybe that's it. Though.
I say, but on the inverse,
you see what I mean? Like,
so in my experience from being in locker rooms and seeing this, I think he should have done something yesterday. As a player, you call into question, especially in a scenario like that where you see it's cleared. Their intentions were clear that they were trying to take him out, and you watch that happen and nobody reacts. Like, personally, I'm looking at all my teammates too. None of you guys came out here. No one had anything to say. My coach isn't saying anything.
And the pay cut he took to stay here, too.
It's the same thing. I'm doing all this for the city, and nobody comes out. Like, y'all should all have I wanted to see everyone run out there.
This reminds me of a lot of the talk, and I know
we should have been out there. Why weren't you out there?
I should have jumped off the top rope.
Different sports and different circumstances. I understand that, but talking about Jared Allen, everybody gets on his ass. He's not standing in the fight. He's not getting up.
I said the same thing about that. It was if I see that on TV or I look back at the tape and nobody even thought about it or no one moves, I'm like, well, then what's my chopped liver, bro?
Because baseball is also just such the most like hold me back, bro thing ever. Too. They love doing the fake fights in baseball where they just go out there. They didn't even do that. At least go out and pretend fight. You know, like
somebody said. I saw a lot of people were commenting. They were like naming some guys in the past that played for the Guardians/Indians that would have came out there. Like Mike Napoli would have been out there causing a scene. I don't know if that one's true, but a couple other guys.
Yasiel Puig would have been.
Yeah, Puig would have been out there. He might have hit 220, but he was going to be out there.
I mean, but and to Jack's point about Steven Vogt, you know, it would go against the grid of who he is. Good, because who you've been to date is a 500 manager. Yeah, so you got to try to fire these guys up a little bit.
If you look over the last 162, we're getting very, very close to the point of 81 and 81, if not worse.
Because basketball, sure, it's different, but the coaches arguing those calls and deciding I'm going to take a tech here, that can swing games, that can get people going. That was an opportunity to do something like that yesterday, and you go out and you still don't even put up a run.
And there is no technical foul. You know, like the worst thing that was going to happen for the Guardians is Stephen Vogt was going to have to go watch it inside.
Yeah, like there's no.
The game was over.
It's nothing, bro. Like there was no real loss for getting kicked out of that game. So it's like, why not just make the statement? You chose not to make the statement. That's all I get from that as a player.
And I know Jose kind of caused this one more, so it's a little bit different. But like even 2023, by the point that the down goes Anderson happened, we were pretty scot out of it. Like we were maybe like 5 games out of the division, around 500 in August, as you do in the AL Central by simply having a heartbeat. But like I don't know. It's just like that seemed like at least everyone, the bullpen flooded out. Like Jose, like that might have been more of a boiling over of things going bad. Tito was about to be out. Like that might have been like the final death blow of a team. But like at least that shows like, hey, we give a shit one way or another. You know, like we're gonna learn a lot this weekend. You know, I'm not saying it's the biggest series of the year by any means, but if you do want to be a playoff team, shit needs to get back on the rails. It needs to start today.
Yeah, we said Monday. We said Monday
like
that
we say this every series, and we keep
losing these series. Right? We said that this is the most important stretch for this team. Test number 1 against Toronto failed. Test number 2 against St. Louis coming up, and then the whole rest of the month.
They hem and haw us just close enough to feel like you have a chance, and at a certain point, you just got to find out.
That's the frustrating part about guards ball. Like it's fun, it's cute, and it's your moniker.
Is it really that?
I understand you.
No, I can come back and attack that as well. No, guards ball is stupid. Let's go back to that real quick. No.
I want to hit home runs
because the city loves guards ball.
Down 3-0,
hitting the ball 88 miles per hour off the bat and having it bloop in twice an inning and then getting lucky it's ridiculous.
Do they even believe in themselves?
You win in the playoffs by looking at a team came in last year with power and beat the crap out of us in 5 games.
Subliminal message that you have to push to get people to believe in the team.
I looked in everyone's eyes when they
we hit dainty balls down the line. That's a real stupid.
They didn't even believe they could do that. They're swinging. It was like their eyes were closed when they're swinging, bro. I don't think anyone has any belief in their heart and
I just want to see a home run into Proctor.
Somebody needs.
When was the last time we had a home run into second?
Somebody needs to just show them that Michael Irvin clip before.
Nobody believes in you. What are you waiting to do about it?
Have you guys seen Major League 2 before?
Yeah.
You know when they get the Asian outfielder and he comes into Pedro Serrano and he's like, "You have no marbles," and he just starts like grabbing his balls. Like
there's not a lot of that out there, bro. No one out there. No, nothing, man.
I don't know about you guys, but this guard season is making us, at least me, crazy.
I want to grab a bat, and I suck.
You can grab a garage beer. You gotta know about a bat. Garage beer,
no
guys,
frills,
the perfect
no
beer
offense.
for the summer. Truly, it comes in just 2 flavors. That's garage beer. No frills, no bitterness, no IPAs. It's just beer the way you want beer to taste, and that's beer-flavored beer. You can find local retailers who sell garage beer near you by visiting their website, drinkgaragebeer.com. Again, classic light lager and classic lime. It's literally the perfect beer when you're just sitting around watching the game. Anything you want, beer-flavored beer is the way to do it. All right, guys, let's take a break. When we get back, you guys want to talk some Cavs ball?
Yeah.
Look like you have something to say.
Yeah. Do you guys think if Tyrese Proctor caught for the Guardians for the next month, his OPS would be higher or lower than Austin Hedges?
If he doesn't take the bat off his shoulder, higher.
Okay.
All right, and on that, we'll take a break. We'll talk
what sport does he even play?
When we get back on the Big Factor. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Rob Watson, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone.
Got a couple stairs that time.
Yeah, that one turned a couple heads.
Guys, we're here in Canfield, Ohio.
It's always the third break.
Fairway Ford, Ohio. website, fairwayfordohio.com. The dealership is just absolutely beautiful, guys. The most friendly people you'll meet. They want you to make a deal, but they're not going to pressure you to do anything you don't want to. They'll give you all the facts, everything you need. When you want to purchase a car, you want to do it from people that understand the position you're in and understand what you need and aren't going to upcharge you for any of that BS.
I'm ready to get in one of these Broncos,
Yeah, I was
dude.
staring that puppy
Check
down.
out this black label Ford truck behind us. Thing is absolutely
Always wanted a
beautiful.
Bronco.
Reminds me like Morgan Wallen when you're riding through the dirt roads. I actually never done it. I'm a wannabe country guy. But the point is, here at Fairway Ford, the dealership is absolutely beautiful. Over 500 vehicles on stock in their lot.
We can find some country roads out here,
Yeah,
probably.
absolutely. Here in Canfield by Youngstown. Easy drive, too. Where we came from Cleveland.
Take me home.
Where normal cities are just an hour 20.
An hour and 20. Fairway Ford. It's in Canfield.
Ohio.
Low APR.
Just put Fairway Ford on your list of if you're searching for vehicles. FairwayFordOhio.com. They have everything you need. Your dream vehicle could quite literally be on their lot here in
It is.
Canfield.
Not quite
500
literally, it is.
vehicles. That's very hard to find these days. All right, guys, we're flipping over. We're talking some Cavs basketball. Obviously, they were silent on day one. Didn't have a round one draft pick due to the Donovan Mitchell trade. I think that worked out.
Worth it.
Day two, your first pick, Tyrese Proctor, out of Duke. Do we like the pick?
Well, that truck is taller than him.
Whoa.
First of all, before we dive into the picks, actually, let's talk this. NBA draft day two. Day two of the NFL draft is still primetime television. Day two of the NBA
Not a
draft,
soul was watching
bit
it.
lackluster.
Not a
It's
soul.
very hard to find superstars in the NBA in the second round. You got guys, obviously, like Nikola Jokic. And outside of that, I'm really hard-pressed. I'm not a big ball knower.
Rudy
Draymond.
Gibson.
But the
Draymond.
point is, it's very rare to find one of those elite talents in
Manu.
the second round.
Jokic.
And the Cavs selected Tyrese Proctor. What do we see out of the kid? Where does he fit into this lineup? Interesting that Mike Gansey came out and they said we're going to sign him to a contract, not one of those
Yes,
deals that they
yeah.
usually give rookies. That's pretty significant.
They like him. You know, that tells me that they like him. They said right afterwards as well that this is a guy that they pretty much had a first-round grade on, so it's a good value pick. And I think really when you're looking at second-round picks in the NBA draft, like it's a lot of dart throws. You see a lot of draft and stash, which the Cavs obviously did later with the 59th pick there. But Tyrese Proctor, if that's a dude that they thought could have been a first-round pick, to get him all the way down there at 49 is tremendous value. I'm not going to talk like I know everything about him, but it seems like it's another dude that could score the basketball at least a little bit, and it be a little bit of an athlete out there, taller guard compared to what we have.
About my height.
Yeah, so I'll take that.
He's like 6'5".
I'll take
How
that.
tall are you?
I'm 6'5".
You're only 6'5". I thought you were like 6'8", and he was like 6'4".
Now go stand me next to
Yeah,
Darius
you're
Garland.
Okay, well, hey, we're
Right,
gonna
right.
find out. We're gonna find out a lot.
DG would be
I was
looking
gonna
up
ask
at
you
Rob.
guys,
Yeah.
do you think there's any chance that we don't sign Sam Merrill as an RFA now if they're going to put him on a contract, like to help
So here
allocate
we
money
go.
to Ty Jerome?
I'm ready to start this narrative
Let's
here.
go, let's do it.
I want Tyrese Proctor to be that two guard off the bench. Hear me out. Here's why. You're getting a guy shot 40% from three
Sold.
his final season at Duke. Shooter with some length. Also has the
Yep.
potential. He was playing some point guard-ish roles at Duke. I'm not saying he's a point guard. I
He
don't
came
think
in as a point guard,
He's not
though.
the greatest ball handler. He's a solid ball handler, a great secondary playmaker. Who he could be secondary to? Could it be Ty Jerome? Could it be Craig Porter Jr.? Depending on what we do in the free agency. That's given us some more length on the bench. It's given us more options. It's given us a guy who's a shooter, who's also seasoned. He's played in so many high-pressure situation games at Duke. He's hit big shots. He's made big plays for them, and he's battle-tested. He's experienced. He could come right in and perform a solid role. He's got enough skills. He's a great player with a good IQ to come in and contribute off the bench immediately, and that's why I think they want to sign him to a contract.
Yeah.
Mike Gansey did actually say he had him as a first-round grade. Let me ask you guys this. Is there something to drafting a player out of a school like a Duke, a North Carolina? Not really
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
and when I say this, that isn't necessarily their star player. Obviously, you
Yes.
saw Cooper Flag, Con Kneppel go. They don't have to do everything at those schools. When they're asked to, maybe they have a higher ceiling than some of those guys drafted ahead of them that maybe were the star on a lesser-known team at Lake.
And they're mostly good culture guys because you look at those head coaches, they've been
Yeah.
coached by coaches who could be in the NBA. You know, like so these guys come into the league and they understand, like as simple as it sounds, and it kind of is a little intersect with the Browns talk and some of the, Shedeur Sanders, fourth string, whatever. they come into the league when you go to a North Carolina or you go to a Duke, one of these true blue bloods, and they speak the same language as they're speaking at the professional level. So it is what, like, I was so high on the Tyrese Proctor pick, and I put out there, love the pick, and I put in quotes, it's because he went to Duke, because I do think that he could take a lot from that program and bring it to the Cavs, just in terms about how he's going to be ready to go mentally as a professional basketball player. As still a young dude, second-round rookie, you usually don't see those type of guys make an immediate impact. But in a world where they can't bring back Ty Jerome, in a world where they can't bring back Sam Merrill, say somebody just blows them away with the offer sheet and the Cavs are like, we're not matching that. Same thing with Ty Jerome. Say somebody just, one of these bad teams that has a lot of cap space just for no reason decides that Ty Jerome's their guy this offseason. Tyrese Proctor, that pick allows you to have that happen, and you don't have to be sweating, putting Craig Porter on the court if you feel like he's not truly the guy, because you've got a pro-ready dude in Tyrese Proctor.
But what if he is the guy?
I want to push a narrative.
But what if he is the guy?
Please push. It's Friday.
Friday.
I need us we need to try some different things this year. If we're going to, in the regular season, needs to be the experimental ground.
Especially regular season doesn't matter. We've been talking about it.
Yeah. I need to see Craig Porter Jr., Tyrese Proctor, and Jalen Tyson off my bench. I want to see all three of them all season. I want to know what they got. Because if they're young guys with a lot of potential who could do more than just one thing, like a Sam Merrill, he's a great player, gives great effort, he shoots, but he's smaller. If you could get that same thing in a guy with a 6'5" frame, upgrade, more athletic player. Craig Porter Jr., if he could facilitate, cut down on his turnovers. Ty Jerome is a great scorer, but Craig Porter Jr. is going to wear people out on defense full court. If Jalen Tyson could step into that ISO lead role of being a main scorer off the bench like he was a great scorer at California.
Could just take Okoro's role, take Dean Wade's role.
Everyone could do better, but we're not seeing the potential these guys have because we're playing them from players we already know what we have. And if we already know what they have, it's already going to be there, so you know what you get in the
Guardians
playoffs.
too.
It's already there. Play the young guys, see what they got, so you know what you have come playoff time.
Especially in an 82-game regular season, man. And I'm not saying that they didn't, because I did consistently compliment Kenny Atkinson and the Cavs coaching staff throughout the regular season. They did everything they could in terms of load management, getting DG off his feet, Donovan off his feet, and his usage was the lowest that it had ever been coming into the postseason. But that's how you keep guys healthy, and that's how you prevent injuries from happening in the playoffs, is there should be nights, hell, maybe 2 or 3 nights in a row where you tell Darius Garland, hey, you got a hamstring injury, you're out. Hey, Donovan, your left finger, your left thumb hurts.
You got to make it something with Darius' mouth.
You're out.
15 shots
Darius got poked.
And Jalen, right, and in that stretch of 3 or 4 games, Jalen Tyson's treated like a regular contributor, and you see what you've gotten these guys, and that's a piece of something that didn't happen last year, because I felt like they were battling a lot of injuries throughout the regular season. Strus got inserted late, and it was then Kenny at the end of the regular season trying to get his playoff rotations as straight as he possibly could. Ultimately, it didn't matter come second round because they were just out-hustled, out-coached. We've talked about that all before on The Factor, but I'm with Rob. I wouldn't be opposed at all. In an 82-game regular season, Donovan Mitchell has said it himself. I will continue to repeat it. They could go 82-0 next year. Not a soul would care. They could go 100% from the field next year in the regular season, 82-0, NBA history, nobody would care. It's all about playoff success and getting out of that second round. And if Jalen Tyson or Craig Porter Jr. or Tyrese Proctor could prove to you in the regular season that they could contribute, then yeah, those guys should be getting the regular season minutes over Okoro, Dean Wade, Sam Merrill, Ty Jerome. Some of these guys that we've seen in multiple postseasons now not rise up to the occasion, not be the same playoff riser as a Benedict Mathurin. No, we need those guys that will show up. I don't care how much they're getting paid on Spot Track.
My player comparison.
Great pull there.
I saw Quentin Grimes in the docket. I saw it on the notes. But here's what I was thinking I was honestly hoping for Tyrese Proctor. Truth be told, I was keeping it quiet. We didn't talk much about second round picks.
Right.
My comp, a young Spencer Dinwiddie. I think he's a kid with a good bit of upside. Spencer Dinwiddie, not a star, but he could get you like a 20-point night.
Oh, yeah.
Good player off the bench. Spread the floor, handle it a little bit, make some plays for you. He's not going to be the star of your team, but he could sure as hell be a good piece to help you get over the hump.
Right, and he's not going to shrink.
That's not what you drafted him for, exactly. Yep. Any notes, comments, thoughts on the Cavs' second pick?
Name
I'm not going to try and pronounce.
It was a note and a comment on something else.
The draft and stash, I just still dislike
just
it.
a weird, if you're talking about 82 games. The NHL just decided to go to 84 games, which I thought was odd. Isn't that weird?
Just
Just like why go through a CBA just to add 2 more games?
I got nothing on the second pick. I don't know if we.
I will say I was reading an article about him, and John Hollinger, who used to be the Grizzlies GM, was just ripped this kid for no reason. He just talked about how this kid cannot shoot, period. Like,
Not
has
a
no
good sign, bro.
offensive upside. He has a little bit of bounce, but then he just goes, he will almost surely be the second best Niang to ever wear a Cavalier uniform.
Yeah, we have Isaac Okoro already, guys. We need spacing. We need shooters, athleticism. Get guys who are well-rounded with good culture. I like the Proctor pick, though. Good job.
All right, let's take a break. When we get back, I want to talk a little Dan Gilbert, and then we'll jump into, Jack, your Cleveland sports. Not fill in the blank, fair foul.
Fair foul, yeah.
We'll do that right when we get back on the Big Factor. Hey, everybody, welcome back into the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. If you're just
electric.
tuning in and you're like, why aren't they at their usual place? It's too damn hot. No, I'm just kidding. It is, though. We're here at Canfield, Ohio at Fairway Ford, their dealership. Absolutely beautiful. It's massive. It's gorgeous. The people here are friendly. The people here are great. FairwayFordOhio.com. If you're just beginning your car search, if you're already in deep to it, just give them a look at their website, FairwayFordOhio.com. Trust me. It's worth it, guys.
Might just maybe we have to build a studio down. Dude, some of these
so
glass.
nice.
Hey, bro, it's over for you.
I love this place. It would be a hop,
I
skip,
keep
and a
flashing
jump
this
from my
truck
house.
behind us, part of Fairway Ford's black label. The thing is an absolute beauty, guys. Just get on down here. It's a short drive to Canfield.
That's a real big rig.
We were
For those of
talking
you at
about it.
home,
Only
curious.
an hour 20 drive. We got here this morning from Cleveland, guys. Imagine this: an hour 20 drive. It's easy. Pair that on top of saving thousands of dollars on a new truck, a new ride, anything. It's not just trucks. 500 vehicles on their lot. We were talking about how crazy that is in today's world. 500 trucks on their lot, or 500 vehicles, I should say, on their lot. Just get down here, give it a look. You're not going to regret that you did. All right, guys, we're talking about Cavaliers basketball, but this time we're talking a little bit something else. Dan Gilbert, the news came out yesterday. He is selling a stake in the team, 15%. Gilbert purchased the Cavs back in 2005, and that was about $300-ish million, I believe. Now the evaluation is damn near and then now it's about 3-point-something billion, I think, 15th in the league in value of determination. He's selling 15%, guys. He's already going to make a great initial return from selling this investment.
He's going to cover his
money.
cost on the 15%.
And he's still going to own the majority and be able to make all the decisions. Was this anything more than just a smart business move by Dan Gilbert?
I mean, smart business move, yes. I do think. I think the thing is, though, like, Dan Gilbert is the best owner, no bones about it, that Cleveland has had in the last 2 decades.
Let me ask you this real quick, Nick, because this kind of goes along with it. I'm curious. I agree, and that's the narrative. Dan Gilbert is the best owner. I'm sure it's partly because he's just a damn good owner, but do we think there's a part of it because he's just so much more wealthy that he's able to make the indication that he's so all in every year?
Well, no,
Maybe.
Jimmy Haslam has a lot of money. He's just a dumbass,
hand,
you know.
But nobody touches Gilbert.
To be fair to Dan, I think he's learned from his mistakes, though.
Agreed.
Which is such a big part of an owner.
Agreed.
Man.
He touched the stove with the LeBron thing 1.0, messed it up.
When he was
but
being
it
cheap.
took like think about this, because this is a guy that broke, billion, like, you don't become a billionaire by accident, right? Like, this guy's making business dealings all the time. I'm sure with some of that it comes relationships and goes relationships, and the LeBron relationship was surely one that went, and it took pretty bold move to go get on that plane, go down to Miami, and make amends with the greatest player of this generation, and in my estimation, the greatest player of all time, to go mend things up with LeBron James and get him back in Cleveland, go all in with the team, deliver the first championship, end the drought. I mean, that was something that he was hell-bent on, LeBron was hell-bent on, and they were able to put their differences aside, come together, and accomplish that mission. That's what business is about. That's what sports are about, and he was able to do it at the highest level. Then, the other knock on him was that he kind of had a quick trigger finger on firing the GMs and the coaches. Look at the stability that he's built here with Kobe Altman, and that he was the first general manager that was extended, now the president of basketball operations for our Cleveland Cavaliers. And because Dan trusted him, you were able to rebound from losing LeBron James in less than a decade and have a team that we all believe is the betting favorite, odds on to win the Eastern Conference, and the second best odds to win the NBA title next year. So Dan's the best owner in Cleveland. I think everybody winces a little when you see that he's, maybe got one foot out the door, selling 15% of the team, but ultimately I think when you could recoup $350 million or $375 million, whatever he initially bought it for, just by selling 15%, probably got to do that.
All right, Jack, do you want to jump into a little bit of Cleveland sports fair foul? We're going to talk a little bit about, we like hypotheticals, conspiracies.
Should we start with that one?
We can start with that one since we're fresh off the ding.
Okay. Guys, fair or foul, we can consider LeBron James the odds-on favorite to be the 15% minority owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
It's fun. My buddy.
It's foul. It'd be a fun fair.
It's
but
fun.
It's right on the line.
My buddy threw that out there. I mean, if you want to get fun with the come home LeBron conspiracies that are out there, like LeBron has an interest in becoming an owner of an NBA team. He's said that in plain English multiple times. And then the fact that the Cavs are putting up 15% of their franchise for sale, maybe not the biggest coincidence in the world. I think he would probably need that mid-level exception as well if he decided to opt out, but it would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm foul.
Okay, you guys are okay. So you guys are no fun. Okay,
I'm not answering it. I'm saying it would be fun. I'm not saying fair or foul.
Fair or foul, the Cavs are done making moves this offseason outside of extensions.
Better be foul. Better be foul, man. I need something else, bro. We still got no backup bigs. You don't know who's staying.
So you guys think pretty much intact, no big moves?
I'm going to say that it better be foul as well. I'm still looking for that path to get off Jared Allen. I'm sorry about it, but if he is in the way of Evan Mobley. I like Jared Allen as a dude. He's a cat dad. Everybody is a fan of him. But he's in the way. He's officially in the way, and I think if you could get under this second apron, if you could find a way to move off of Okoro and Dean Wade, find a little bit of flexibility there, and find a one-to-one swap for Jared Allen, the basketball team will just make more sense.
No guarantees, too. Reports out about that Darius Garland now probably knows that he was offered up. There's no telling what's going on with that relationship behind the scenes. I'm sure they're still working the phones to see what they could do, because I think they understand what we've been saying. You better get something done this year or it's looking bad.
Remember, I think it was a couple years ago or a year ago, I mean, there were talks in the offseason that Darius wasn't happy because
he wanted to trade.
That was just last year.
Yeah.
I know time feels – that was just a year ago.
That was just a year ago. That feels like a lifetime.
The report there was that if Donovan re-signed, Darius would have his eye on the door. And Donovan did re-sign. Darius, was adamant that those reports were false and that he was down to make it work and collab with, Donovan Mitchell here in Cleveland. But –
and you add that on top of how the reactions to his injury and then seeing yourself in trade talks, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe there was something going on that he might say, I want out for sure.
I mean, Rob, we still don't know the facts of what's up with that injury.
Yeah.
What the team, report initially said that he'll be ready to go for training camp, and the report from the national, basketball reporters are saying that he's going to miss the first month. Yeah. So somebody's got their story confused, and I don't know which one it is.
Last time there was an issue like that, who ended up getting moved? Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
It started with Nico saying that he needs to be back in 2 weeks from a calf strain. When the medical staff was saying he needed about 6 to 8 weeks, they tried to push him back. It just led to a tug of war, and eventually they had to move on.
The last one that happened here in Cleveland, Kyrie Irving. You know, he threatened the knee surgery, and you know, who's to say that something like that didn't happen behind the scenes and they didn't move DG, and that's why he decided to get the surgery. I don't know. There's a lot of conspiracies in the NBA that you could always play with, but as I kind of said on Big Play Cleveland, something is fishy with DG's foot.
But this roster must change, to me, at least a little bit. If our one pickup in the offseason is Tyrese Proctor, I don't know about that one.
I don't know, Jim. Oh, this one hurts. Okay, the guards will call up Chase DeLauder before the All-Star break.
How long until the All-Star break?
Look, about a month from now.
Yeah, the deadline.
Sorry, not even.
July 31st. So.
Well, the All-Star game
I know
is
it's
in
before, but
yeah, so like 2.5 weeks.
Fair. I think they'll fold into the pressure.
You do think so?
I've been told.
All right, I'm interested now.
The Guardians, the thing that frustrates not breaking news. The thing that frustrates Guardians fans about these prospect call-ups is that they've got their timelines that they have to stick to. They've got plans for all of these guys, and they stick to their plans. They stand 10 toes down. Their plan is their plan for all of these guys. They're willing to speed up the plan on Chase DeLauder. I don't know what that means, but I've been told that he could be called up sooner than some fans might believe, that think that they're going to really draw this thing out and bleed this thing out.
I was about to be super negative Nancy and say he didn't get called up this season at all. And
he'll be up.
If that was their plan, what if the plan was to never call him up and now speeding it up just means they'll do it right at the very last second?
He'll be up.
I do think, Rob, I don't think you're as crazy as you think you may sound with that. I don't think it's to that much of an extreme. I think the plan was probably not until August or September originally, just because of his immense, long laundry list of injury issues throughout his career. Like, once again, like, he was a guy who was viewed as a top 5 talent in the draft. He fell to us outside of the top 10 because of his injury issues, and people were worried about taking him so high because, like, injuries to your foot, those kind of things don't go away. So, like, obviously it's a tough thing. He got surgery in the offseason from James Madison before we drafted him. Like, I think that was because of that. Maybe it was, hey, like, let's wait on this kid, but now maybe we're just moving it up. I still don't see it. If he was in that dugout last night, wherever the hell they were in the United States of America, playing in the International League,
I think they were in Des Moines, Iowa.
They were in Des Moines, Iowa. Then I got bad news, brother. Get used to those cornfields, because it ain't going to be any time. It's going to be after the All-Star break.
Breaking rumor. Breaking rumor. I love those when they say breaking rumors. That's not an oxymoron. Chase DeLauder gets called up today.
It won't happen.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
But how raw would it be if you didn't? I just said that.
Where did you get said rumor from? Like, is this like just?
Was this MLB?
It's a breaking rumor.
That's just in my head.
That's from That's from ML baseball.
that is MLB Centel, baby.
I'm actually super plugged into Jeff Passan.
Okay.
All right. I like it, bro.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot I was asking the questions. My bad. We kind of
what a segment we've got here.
Okay, fair. If all the guards will make the playoffs before 2027.
Fair.
So do you think they can reboot it back in a year?
It's the typical Guardians.
Well,
It's every other year,
division's
bro.
just so trash that it's just.
Well, do you guys think,
You know, bro.
if it is a true we miss this year and make it next year, does this cycle continue, though, where it's like they've gone one round further every single year and lose?
I think what's fascinating is that you've got signs of new ownership. You know, like the Tanner Bybee money in that deal is until, you know, when new ownership would take over.
By the way, that contract.
But I do think that they will try to break that trend.
All right, guys, for the Brownies, a rookie QB will start before the bye week.
Oh, 100% fair.
Fair.
100% fair.
I've said all the way they're working these kids
Really?
a lot
Not
to get them
even a
ready to go
debate?
on the
Yeah,
field.
8, correct? Is it 8?
Yeah, bye week's right. It's smack dab in the middle of the season.
I'd be
That's right where I'd set the line. I think it's so tough.
Well, you're only
It is where you would set the line.
if you're not playing Flacco or Pickett, like obviously one of them is going to be there. So you're turning it over to I'm assuming Dylan Gabriel. All signs would say Dylan. Obviously, a lot can unfold through training camp, but I mean, yeah, you're going to. You're not going to be like. You're not going to have 6 wins by the bye. I don't think you're going to feel as though you're really in the mix for a playoff spot. That's when you turn to your young talent and you have to find out what you have.
As long as we have 4 quarterbacks, I'm going to say foul.
That's the thing. People got to realize, throw the wins away this season. Like, wins are great. You got to just figure out what you have. That's what this season's about. That's why it's disappointing to a lot of people, because you're going in with the wrong expectations. You don't just recover from this Deshaun thing of not having a quarterback. You can't just recover from that from 1 year if you didn't go draft a Cam Ward, if you didn't go draft a Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud. Like, you could talk about all the talent the Browns have littered, and I know it might not be obviously correlated to their wins, but you got to realize, like, the quarterback is everything.
You're going to miss out just by 1 week. It's going to be right after. We're going to have to watch that Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett ball those first 7 games.
I'd have to look back at the schedule and do some thinking, but I'd be shocked.
Okay, so last one for you guys, fair or foul. Before we started, I know there's already been reports saying these guys are safe no matter what happens. Fair or foul, Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry will be in their current jobs week 1 of next NFL season.
Fair, because I really think that, like, they won 3 games last year.
Yeah.
It's so hard not
And
to
let me ask you this.
yeah.
Let me ask you this as well, though. How many wins does it take just to bare minimum stay?
Like 5 or 6.
Yeah, because, like, it's going to look better as long as anybody outside of
people.
Deshaun Watson.
You're just saying, like, base level human competency
Yes.
is an
If we
improvement.
see a
Yeah,
running
that's
back
true.
look good and a couple touchdowns thrown by a QB.
Here's the
safe,
perfect.
bro.
Here's what at least I'm looking for. Playoffs would be great. I'm looking. No. I'm saying playoffs would be no. No, I'm not
back
saying
up
I'm
the
not saying
Fairway
I'm
Ford.
not saying they make the playoffs. I'm saying the playoffs would be great, but that's not what I'm expecting.
Okay.
What I'm expecting, what I'm hoping
Scared
is
me.
you get this answer this season of, does Kevin Stefanski's system still work? Can you plug in a quarterback? Then you have the pieces around.
Okay.
The 2 tight end heavy sets, West Coast style. Does that work? Do you plug in these quarterbacks and it looks competent like it did back with Baker Mayfield? Because if the answer is yes, then you already brought back Kevin Stefanski. If the answer is definitively yes to that, well, then you're just back to the point you were of needing to find that quarterback. Now, are you going to find a quarterback that fits into Kevin Stefanski's system that's going to improve everybody around you? I don't know. That's the whole point. That's what we've been missing. But if you can end the season with Kevin Stefanski's offense looking as good as it did back with Baker Mayfield, obviously 2020 more so than 2021, but the formula is still there. You have the pieces again. You drafted to go back to that offense for Kevin Stefanski, which I thought was a good sign. If you come out of the season feeling good about that, I'm not sure how you can move on from the guy.
Ryan, there is an element of this that their job, arguably more so than winning games,
To give us hope.
if it's evident that Shador and Dylan Gabriel aren't the guy, it's almost selling yourself back to ownership that you should be the tandem that's allowed to draft the QB with the 2 first-round picks that you have next year. And a big element of that is the offense. You know, is this an offense that an Arch Manning fits in, a Drew Aller fits in, a Lenoris Sellers fits in? You know,
Clock
like
for them starts next
and I
season.
know this is going to be hard for fans to stomach because there are people that are out on Kevin Stefanski. And,
Right.
And, well, I'm not. I understand your argument for it. Everything's about wins in the NFL, no kidding. But Kevin Stefanski has never had a quarterback that he really wanted. Like, Joe Flacco, I'm sure he wanted, but that was a scrap heap off the
Yeah.
bench. Joe Flacco
That's
performed
38
way
years
better
Those
old.
are
than
That's
last
not prime Joe
option.
he
Flacco,
came in
yeah.
with Baker Mayfield. He got Deshaun Watson thrown on him, however you want to label the people who chose Deshaun Watson. And then he's made it work with
Morons.
P.J. Walker. You won a game with DTR, which is whatever. Just Jameis Winston, you actually had a good offense. When you have a quarterback that can play football,
Dorsey ball.
turnovers be damned. But, like, that's my point is Kevin Stefanski's never had a quarterback of his choosing. Now, whether you agree or not that the head coach should have that final say, I think there's something to that. Is you go in next season, if Dylan Gabriel Shador aren't the guy, then you have that prime pick in the first round to go identify who your guy is. And it'd be interesting to see if everything works out, the offense looks fine. If Dorsey and Barry are like, you know what, yeah, like we feel like we're back to that base level of being good because we have the talent on the roster. Let's go see if Stefanski can find his quarterback to make this thing start humming.
This will be
Right.
an amazing topic next year because if we're in that situation where they do draft a QB, we could see like a mid-season clean out if it's looking
It's
bad.
Lenore.
Oh, it'd be Hugh Jacksonville.
Yeah.
It'd be
It'll be
We're
It would
ready
be.
to learn Lenoris Sellers if
I'm
Deshaun
not-
Watson
I'm not
does.
hating on
excuse
No,
me,
it's going to be
Shador
wait
does
2
work out.
years when we're starting the car, I'm telling you.
No,
car?
no, they'll draft a quarterback 100% next
car
year
is
for
in
Brown if
Derek
it doesn't work
Carr?
out.
No.
Who's the car?
CJ Carr. You'll learn about him, just wait.
Is that a
Just
Notre
wait.
Dame guy?
Yeah,
God. All right, guys, we're here at Fairway Ford. This has been an amazing show. Canfield, Ohio, again. Appreciate them for having us out here. Some of the most nicest people you'll meet. Again, they want to make a deal
we're
with
going to
you,
go mess around.
but they're not going to pressure
Yeah,
you
let's get into
doing
some
anything you don't want, or
shenanigans.
they're not going to upcharge you for all that BS that you don't need. They're going to tell you how it is straight. Just give their website a visit, fairwayfordohio.com. If you're already in the middle of a car search, if you're just beginning, just put them on the market. Fairwayfordohio.com. You're going to want to check it out. 500 vehicles on stock. Literally, I don't know if you can find that anywhere in Ohio, guys. Short drive from Cleveland was an hour 20, like straight drive.
Yeah, that was a straight shot.
Consider that you're going to save thousands of dollars just for that drive. It's definitely worth it. So huge shout out to Fairway Ford. I'm Ryan Tyler. He's Rob Watson. He's Jack O'Rourke. He's Nick Padone. We'll be back Monday in studio. Hopefully it's a little bit cooler.
It won't
But-
be.
Same people, different time.
But appreciate everybody tuning in. Shout out Fairway Ford again. Shout out